Hey, ciao. Welcome to Florida, where we are in my favorite plane, the Q400, and we're in this my new favorite sim. I really love my new installation. I think it's, basically I have new hardware. My last two videos are also from my new hardware, which is based around the Intel 8700K chip. It's pretty spectacular, if you ask me. I think it really performs well. I'm getting 60 frames all over the place, not everywhere. And today we're gonna go to what is typically been a huge problem region for me. Just check out the cruise ship out there. That's so huge, right? And that problem region is what we know as it's Miami. And anyone who's ever flown into Miami before, at least with my kind of hardware, or the hardware I used to have, which was a 3770K overclocked, can attest to the fact that that was a pretty hard location for the system. I would get very, very crappy frame rates, like tens. So let's see if we can, if we'll be able to sort of maintain something like close to 30, or maybe even, I mean, at least 20. We'll see. Anyway, this is Latinvfr's Key West scenery, which is not far away. I'm trying to do just some short flights to begin with here to sort of warm up the system as I reinstall everything. I've installed a lot now, but I haven't really tested it all out. So, like this one's the first time I've loaded up Key West in the new sim. So you may be able to see I get some stutterings here and there. Yeah, so you can see. I don't know what is causing them. So I'm going to sort of hopefully try and figure that out and get rid of them as we go. But pretty nice scenery this. Always liked it. And Key West is really one of the favorite places I've visited in the States. It's really, really fun place. I am rocking pretty intense settings in Prepare, so I'll walk through them and show them real quick. 2 times SSA, I could probably try and ramp that up, but I just want to be sure that I'm not limited by the graphics card. VSync on, triple buffering, so frame rates will not go higher than 60. Ultra 1.7, high resolution, extremely dense, extremely high, very dense, medium, high, user vehicle and terrain, and no reflections, but lighting, yes. I can turn that on and off. It doesn't really seem to make a difference in the day anyway. In the night it really is nice. Lots of shadows. Vegetation and buildings receive shadows. It's mostly the buildings is because a lot of airports, third-party airports, don't have the runway textures. I think sort of flagged as a building or something. It's weird. I kind of feel like I have to have that. And then maximum and 90 detail clouds. So it's 5 cloud layers in active sky, and yeah, I guess there's a lot more sort of small settings, but I really haven't done much from stock. It's pretty much the way it is, or it was. Ah, sound is off. That's why there's no sound. Okay. I'm just gonna try and get this set up a little quickly today. Let's see if we can't make that happen. But oh. Last time I flew this too, it's possible you didn't see it, but I flew out of Bellingham, which is an amazing add-on. I have to say that was really something else. I loved it, yeah. So now everything is mapped correctly. I didn't have the correct controls mapped correctly. So let's do this real quick. So we are going Key West, Cave. And we are departing runway 27. I don't think there is a SID. No. So that's easy. We are going direct to something called Fishhook, Fizz. And from FIS we are following the B646 to Marathon. And from Marathon, I guess it's the arrival, so KMIA. Accept menu arrival, and we are arriving today runway 30. Some of the runways here are shorter. I really haven't looked them up, but this might be one of them. But it doesn't matter. We have this will be fine on all the runways there. The Q400, that is. And we are Marathon as the transition and the approach. Let's do the ILS. And Shan transition. I don't think so. So, Curso, Mindy, Licit, Oldie, and then there's the actual this is the intercept of the ILS, so that's good to go. 0 fuel weight today is 27092. And our fuel on board is, I'm not gonna do a lot today. Our fuel on board today is 1498. Not a lot. I'm not gonna bother doing the rest of the things there. All the sort of alternate fuel and planned fuel and reserve fuel. It might be a little light on fuel, but that's okay. We're not going that far. And well, that sounds stupid. It's not like it's okay because we're not going far. If you don't have enough, you're still gonna crash. But no, I think we have enough to get where we want to go. That's basically what I'm saying. And there's plenty of places to divert to, and the weather looks nice, and it's just a sim. So this is the way it goes. Yeah, so I guess we don't have boarding here, so that's fine. JSX doesn't work. It was updated right before I started recording, and I guess that kind of messed up how it worked, right? Whatever. Let's go ahead and get the weather, set up the speeds, and then we'll get everything started and going. Okay, so that's good. We got the weather set up, then it's the speeds. I've already calculated them. I was thinking we'd do a flaps 15 takeoff today, so it's 115, 115, 116, 129, 153. Okay. I really wish it picked up where it was. That would be so much faster. Instead of starting at the bottom every time. Set in the decision height, where our minimum decision as our acceleration altitude. I'm just gonna check one thing. See if the track IR actually assigned the right profile today. No, it did not. It does not want to do that. It is so annoying. Because if you go to title, which you can see is my FSFX or whatever the title is, and I've changed this before, why does it not save? don't understand it. The only way I can save anything is over here. I can save it there. Is that going to change it here? Probably not. Anyways, okay. I guess since we have no no GSX today, then we'll just do it like this. We'll just start it from here. We also don't think we need any sort of pushback, so that's kind of cool. Obviously I could have run some more tests, but you know what, today we're just not going to do that. And since we have the ground power connected, let's start it with the ground power and let's not go off the APU today.
If you want to use any electronic equipment, we would kindly ask you to contact us first. For takeoff and landing, these devices must be switched off, and the cellular phones may not be used during the entire flight. We wish you a pleasant stay on board.
Always check these guys, and they are actually, at this point, they are connected. That's nice. We're disconnecting the ground power at this point. And we'll start engine 1. It's nice to be able to hear it like that without the APU, huh?
Ladies.
Okay, I think we have a good engine start. Bring the props to 1800 or 1080. Sorry.
When instructed to do so, take a hold of the bag and take the life vest out. Pull the life vest over your head. Fasten the life vest.
Pitot heats can come on. Fasten seatbelt lights. No smoking signs. Okay, so the last thing then is to set the actual cruising altitude. We are cruising today at an altitude of 17,000 feet. I hate how, man, what's wrong with my PFPX? Does someone sort of understand what's going on? Why it looks so different now from what it used to do? So turn down my volume here a little bit. It's a little loud in my headphones. I hope that doesn't affect the recording. I don't know how that works properly. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over and we're gonna go around here, even though it's kinda gonna have to backtrack a little bit afterwards. That's fine. Yeah, so this is the Conch Republic. It's a really nice place to visit. Thoroughly recommend anyone with a liking for interesting food and cocktails. This is like my favorite place to go and drink cocktails. The cocktails is everywhere. It's pretty great. Pretty great. I have to say, I really, really liked it. It's got a very sort of fun vibe, I guess is would be fair to call it. Definitely fun. So my 2.7 is down here. You can see with the performance, I'm sure you can see, it's pretty damn sort of rock solid. There's some stutters, but I'll figure out what is causing the stutters. It's just gonna take me a little while. Here you can see exactly what I was talking about with the shadows. That is so annoying. Makes it look like the airplane is floating in midair when it is in fact not floating in midair. Pretty poor. I don't know why that is, and I don't know why it has to be. So we're doing a flaps 15 takeoff today. So we'll stop here, and then we'll do our final checks. Turn on all of these guys. We can flight min off. Da, 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 da. Turn on the weather radar and let's request takeoff clearance. Oh man, I own edit voice back. I just forgot to input the damn code. We're gonna hear that when we're using it, you know. That's annoying. Edit voice back, by the way, well worth the €5 just for the faster speech. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're here. We'll go nav and we'll put on IS mode so we have something to fly the flight director after. Put it on 180 and yeah, that's about it. Okay, seats for departure it is. Off we go. Oh yeah, this guy, we got gust lock. .70 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. It's me sort of flying in the blind from the inside, by the way. That's why the plane's acting so weird, but I'm flying poorly, but look at how nicely it moves. For lack of a sort of better way to describe it. Sounds terrible though from out here. These must be the dry Tortugas ahead of us. drops 900 at this point. I'll go ahead and turn on the autopilot just because I kind of do want to look at the views. It's a little bit of shimmering, but you know what? It's pretty nice. Up the IS here, we got plenty of time to climb, I think. Wonder where this Cessna is, actually, I can't see it. Fairly good looking scenery, this, I think. I think they could do a little bit on the sort of the edges of this water mask. That would look even better, but it's pretty nice, and it's really nice to see all this water class, or this sort of photo reel underwater. I like that. And looks good with the rest of the keys coming up to the north here. That would be cool, maybe also if there was like slightly more going on with this Navy air base. I can't complain. $200 knots. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the landing. So we are looking at KMIA, Miami, and we're landing runway 30, and we can just go ahead and get the conditions. No wind, so it's gonna be fairly nice, huh? Smooth. And our landing weight, $27092. 27092, and I think we're gonna do a flaps 15 landing as well. 15 both up and down. So VREF 124, 114. Okay. So that's plugged in there. I guess we should get the charts too. I do have it. Okay, we're doing the star that we're doing is called Curso 5R9 from Marathon. So marathon flight level 180, and the wall we're gonna be at 6,000 feet. And more or less 6,000 feet all the way into Beater, is that correct? And 30, which one would 30 be? Would that be this one? No, 30 would be west, right? So it's one of these guys. Okay, we'll find out. Approach runway 30. It is this one. Yeah, it is this one. So we'll probably go out there to Bird. Which is at 1600, so 1600 is our I feel like I saw a bird on this chart. That's alright, that's okay. Curso, Mindy, Jodhpo, that's it. Yeah, so it's this one. We're gonna go up to Jodhpo, that's it. And then down here to Bird, and then probably in. Expect radar vectors prior to Jodhpo. Okay, we're not gonna get that today. We'll set everything up. It's 111.7 on the ILS. Oh yeah, also, perhaps 850 we are at altitude. At least roughly. I guess I should have done this first. That is Marathon Key right ahead of us, the other airport on the Keys, and this is I think like 7 Mile Bridge or whatever it's called, right? A really, really long one. It's really not a bad, the weather today is pretty good. I have to say this looks kind of odd and weird, but I do think it's correct actually. There's like this tiny key in the middle of that other road there. And there are these breaks also in the bridges, which is really interesting. They just sort of ruin them so that people can't use them, which is funny. But I guess it kind of makes sense, otherwise people would totally be driving on these other bridges. just odd. That's what they do. Also, water class here doesn't look quite legit, does it? That does look a little bit odd. Something's a little off, huh? I don't know what. Also, I think the reef texture could do with some less repetition, but this is something I think I've installed on my own. It's from Envtex, and I think I may have chosen like a smaller size or something. I don't know. I need to check that out too. Anyway, I don't think it doesn't look that great, does it? It just looks a little patchworky and stupid. Okay, anyways, minimums for this is 258, okay. That's cool. What else should we do before we get to Miami? We need to calculate our DMV speeds. That's what we need to do. Or VNav, I mean. So JoQ, Gushid, Waldwall, Curso, Mandy, Jodpo, and Oldie, 3000. Okay, what we said, let's set to 4000 then, and do it there. Let's it is number 7, and we will what happened here? Let's it. Okay, we can't do let's it. Let's do Japo then. And we'll do so okay, so we're 16 miles away from it. Go right ahead and put our VNav. Well, we have to set this to 5000 is I guess what we set here, and then we can arm VNav. So it's armed. So yeah, pretty short flight. And next thing we can then go ahead and do is actually set up the approach heading. So we press and hold the format button. That gives us a chance to put in the ILS frequency before we actually switch to without switching to the ILS as our navigation system, and it's 304. So that should be doable. And we press and hold the format button again. I think the performance is still pretty damn good. The odd stutter though, I am going to look into that. Here we have the Everglades. I don't think I've actually flown over the Everglades in an airliner and having been able to see it, because it's just always been such shitty weather, and I mean by shitty weather I mean like very cloudy down here. The stuttering really bothers me because it's silky smooth, but then there's like this. What is that? What is that? What is that? Sorry, I'm making everybody nauseous. I'm really sorry. Anyways, I think what I've heard about the Everglades, that it's actually considered a river, which I thought was crazy. But I think basically, like, all of this gets a lot of rain, and it just slowly drains out here over a wide area. Very neat. Never been to the Everglades, but kind of wish I went when I was there. It's definitely interesting. Okay, here we are coming up on top of descent. Once we catch it, I'm going to reduce power so we don't overspeed, because we're going to overspeed pretty much immediately. Look at that. So I'm going to reduce the power quite significantly. Get so stuck, this trim button, and in prepared that is. Huge, this place. Look at how big the Everglades are. They're enormous. Kinda wasn't expecting that, to be honest. And this is also one thing I'm not expecting. I've actually never trimmed it going left. There's something so cool about the, like, one of the things I really appreciate with the Q400 is it sort of does things that you don't expect it to do, like this. Like, I sort of have these sort of trim numbers almost memorized at this point, but, you know, then you do something like this, or you go for flight, and then maybe the conditions are just different. Maybe the fuel is different, there's something different, and the plane just doesn't act exactly like it has before, which it so often does in other simulations. Like they feel programmed. Like I felt like the Aerosoft. Obviously, all of these things are programmed. I do know that, but like the Aerosoft Airbus, you know, it just felt like you knew what it was going to do. And if you did something wrong, yeah, it didn't work, but you knew it wasn't going to work, because it didn't feel living, which this one does. I also think the ADO aircraft are quite good at feeling sort of living, acting different from time to time you fly them. A little weirded out by there not being more traffic too, actually. Yeah, so the reason why the airspeed alert is going is of course because we have broken through 10,000 feet. I think also, since it's supposed to be under 250 under 10,000 feet, it's calculated the V-speed is wrong, which means it's not sinking as fast as it is because we're going too fast, so that then it does compensates by sort of tipping it forward, which means the speed starts shooting up. Ay, ay, ay. Gotta stay on top of those V-speeds, that's really important. Well, not V-speeds, the... your speed, your indicator airspeeds is what you gotta stay on top of the airspeed. Very good, very good advice. Cool, huh? I like that.
Kilo Tango November Tango Airport information. India 2337 Zulu. Weather wind 317 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 132.5. Altimeter 3007. Advise initial contact. You have information. India Kilo Tango November Tango Airport information. India 2337 Zulu. Weather wind 317 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 132.5. Altimeter 3007. Advise initial contact. You have information. India Kilo Tango November Tango Airport information. India 2337 Zulu. Weather wind 317.
It's amazing. Like this, we're just outside an enormous city, and look at how abandoned it is. I mean, obviously it's a massive swamp, so it makes some sense, but it's still kind of impressive. So see here, this is our last stop here before reaching Miami. We're gonna go out to Bird before intercepting and going back. It's pretty much a straight shot. So since this plane doesn't have an auto throttle, you have to stay on top of the throttle. So right now we are leveling off. We need to add some power back, you know. Okay, so at Oldie we want to be at 3,000. Bird we want to be at 1,600. So stay at 5,000 until we get to less. Then we'll start going down. I love this one little dinky road. It's not even a highway. Yeah, see, here's all our traffic, at least some of it. Performance is taking a hit, but we are close to Miami. If I get 40 frames per second in Miami, I am gonna be very happy. So that's the airport probably. I know it came with so this is the updated Latinvfr. I do own Joystick Designs Miami City X, but I haven't installed it yet, mostly because I read that this one was coming with an updated version of the Miami skyline, which I was very curious to see. Yeah, this performance is fine. If this is what I get on final, I am happy. I might go ahead and sort of re-enable my VSync to 30. I had very good effects with that on my previous system, and to be honest, I might do it here too, because I think everything would be perfect all the time, and not perfect. I mean, I do think 30 frames per second you get a really sort of crappy mouse pointer, and some things are worse. Like panning isn't as smooth actually as when we're getting 60 here. So. But there's a less micro stutter. Okay. So the important part here is to sort of not forget to switch modes. So we want to switch to heading mode, and then we want to switch to vertical speed mode right after that. Okay, and that's heading mode. And vertical speed minus 400 feet per minute, perhaps. And then we'll go ahead and we'll actually switch the nav source over to nav1, which is the ILS. Yeah, 20s, but I mean it is loading. It just feels a little silly that it unloaded at this point. Yeah, I mean this isn't the same as Miami CDX. Let's just be blunt and straightforward about it. Miami CDX actually looks like Miami. This does not. Bet you it's well optimized too. I mean it is. So, but I just wouldn't be surprised if it gets even better frames than this. I would be surprised, because this is a lot simpler, but you know what I mean. it's a well optimized scenery, or a decently optimized scenery. Definitely some sort of funky things going on with the water down here, and it's not very good. See, I forgot to adjust my throttle based on the fact that I was actually descending. And that is stupid. Yeah, this is definitely an issue. When you see texture shift like that, there's something wrong in the installation of something. So United. The localizer. And what we need to do is get the This is very close. We're gonna be right on. Right in. It's one of those examples where it really would be handy to have air traffic control, because we're right in the middle of two planes here on the same glide path. We are online now. We got everything. I'm gonna do a reduced MP landing. Reset the trim. That is very weird that this was set up that way. Okay. Oh man, I forgot what to do. I need to arm the approach, which we're doing now above the glide slope, which is, you know, not the correct way to do it, but whatever. It is a way to do it. I knew there was something vital I just forgot. I was like, what is this vital thing that I forgot to do? Oh yeah, it's just arm the approach. You need more than a localizer. ATC was kind of smart to try and put us on the other runway, but I guess we were too lazy to change our plans, right? Because we now have 2 planes ahead of us, 3 planes ahead of us. I mean, check it out. Like, it's not pretty good. Like the frame rate and everything with this, all this stuff going on. See, and that's what happens when you spend too much time looking at the scenery. You forget yourself, especially on landing. I'm doing a terrible job today. Doing a terrible job of flying this today. Sorry. This is even with cars on, by the way. I turned on cars again because I want to see how it works. It works. It's not great, but it works. It could also be the source of the stutters. But, I mean, look at this. We're landing in KMIA and we're getting 30 FPS. Oh man, and now I'm speeding up. I need to pay attention. I'm too tired. Kind of looks like a go around with the plane landing right in front of us, but also just look at the amount of autogen, people. Look at the amount of autogen. I mean, there's not that much right here. That's Latinvfr's fault, I think.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
flies really well. Really nice and sort of fluid flight dynamics. Here I am following the flight director, and I am way above now.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Whiskey 60. I have a feeling that's like not a good parking. Where is Whiskey Gates? GW blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't think that's what I want. It's a cargo area, dude. I don't want cargo. Anyways, where are we gonna go? Let's go to, for instance, let's go to like D48 or something. So I'll turn this off, and instead we're gonna go ask GSX to go. Ah, man, it doesn't. GSX doesn't work. I need to restart it. So we will just park where we see fit. Neat. Yeah, parking light, the landing lights come off, taxi light come on, this can go to red, pedos can come off. Yeah, you know what I forgot to turn on was the windshield heat. But I guess I didn't need it today. It's so hot out there anyway. I'm driving like a maniac here. I have to say this airport is looking a little bit better than before, and not to mention performing better. But then again, I did change my system to something that it performs a lot better, so that could have something to do with it. But all in all, seems like a worthy update, just even by looking at it. And I'm gonna be impatient and pass you. That does look funny, doesn't it? I'm just like sort of, yeah. Sorry, dude. Skidding around on the airfield. Well, I thought this was where I was gonna park, but I mean these planes don't relate to me. I want something a bit smaller to park by. Miami really is a terrible airport in many ways. It's just so huge and annoying with the 3 different terminals, and flying international through America is sometimes really horrible. I've flown there through here a few times when I've been going to the Caribbean, and you have to do your passport control here, and then you have to sort of check your bags and bring them in again and bring them out again, and then go from one terminal to another one, which almost requires taking a cab because they're not exactly well integrated, and going through security all over again. And oh my god, it's a pain. It's a mess. I'll do this one here, I think, next to the Airbus. We can do the one in between the 2 Airbuses here. In between the Airbus and the Boeing. D4A. Okay, and there we are. We can turn off the hydraulic pumps too now. You want to keep them off during taxi, on during taxi, because of such things as they help with braking. If there is some sort of thing wrong with something, it's really crap to be without brakes. And if you keep these on, then at least you're not sort of upsetting the system. So there we go. Yeah, I think it looks improved. And like I said before, it's probably a lot of the reason I'm saying that, or could have something to do with the fact that everything's just performing so goddamn much better. But this is not half bad performance, man. 40 FPS. I mean, I granted everything's off now, but we had 30 FPS coming in on the landing, all the way down. I think gates I should have parked that are over here, potentially over here. Very cool. Anyway, I guess my first impressions of this chip, if you are wondering, is that it's pretty goddamn great for prepared. And this is like not really with too much tweaking. This is pretty much straight out of the box. Just started installing things. I'll probably start messing with the config files pretty soon and trying to change things and make them slightly better, but I think it looks pretty damn good. Kind of one thing I did actually download here is I downloaded GPU-C because I think it's very handy to see how much I'm using of the actual the GPU. Yeah, the GPU load is fairly high. So it could be that the instances I've seen where I've had some frame rate slowdown could be just because the GPU is overloaded. And I think that could be from even from things like autogen, but I'm not sure. anyways, I've had some slowdown. It could be a GPU issue. But what do you know? One thing is a little annoying. Why doesn't it show the CPU in GPU? Let's see. It would be nice to see that. I mean, I have CPU-C too, but it's like, why? Why do you have to make two programs? This is the ROG version, which is Asus's version. Came with the driver package I downloaded. Which so far just seems like it means that it's a little slower to load. But it should technically have the same functionality. No, come on. All I want is for you to load. Mutex locked. Okay, I don't know what that means. And okay, I guess that didn't work very well. Anyways, if you like what you see, you should subscribe. If you or leave a like or a comment or something like that, or tell me that you like what you see. If you think I should do more or something else, then you should tell me that. Anyways, it's been nice flying with you, and I'll see you in the next one.